What's going on, everybody? We got another crazy one for you today. In this video, we have all different types of TikToks that'll make you question reality, all types of mysterious experiences. Hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive in.
This is why I don't have mirrors in my house, because they're literal portals to other dimensions.
So let's watch this terrifying video together, and after we watch it, I want you to let me know down in the comments, would this scare the out of you? And also, do you think this is fake or do you think this is real? Let me know. You see it in the mirror? Do you see it?
I would have reached up like this and tried to DDT whatever she wanted.
Look at that.
Right there, stunner. Quick turnaround. Did they spot a 20-foot great white shark? Definitely scoping you out, mate. Wasn't the one on the movie Jaws like 25 feet? I was watching it last night. That's the crazy part. Bluey's dad got a potty mouth, don't he?
Oh my god, dude. Holy dude.
You taking the video?
Yeah. Holy
He's coming up to the surface!
oh my god, bro.
Eyes of him. I know having a break here in the water.
At what point do you turn the engine on and go back to shore? Where's Chief Brody when you need him?
The dying Lion of Lucerne is one of the world's most famous monuments. It was carved out of natural rock in memory of the heroic deaths of the Swiss mercenaries at the Tuileries in 1792. His size is colossal. His attitude is noble. His head is bowed. The broken spear is sticking in his shoulder. His protecting paw rests upon the lilies of France. Mark Twain described the Lion of Lucerne as the saddest and most moving piece of rock in the world.
How poetic, the dying Lion of Lucerne. I wonder what the significance of this is and what it actually says on the rock around it. What a mystery. And then you can see this like water right below it with the leaves on top. Man, what a sight.
Do you know about alchemical alchemy? There's 33 vertebrates in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus. So this substance comes from your medulla, makes the trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is Christ coming down into human form. Yeah. And if you don't squander that essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney.
Jim was on it a little bit harder than I know. This looks like older footage. What was Jim trying to show us? I wonder what Jim Carrey's working on now. Try to play it cool when you know that red mercury exists. Whatever it is, it looks like it comes from Russia. Soviet Union? What is going on here? And then you gotta think it's, what is it, 1818? So this stuff been active that long? Is it like some type of perpetual battery, maybe? Like, what do you plug it into? Because it looks like a giant battery, does it not? This is that thing on Star Trek that Spock had to drop. You know, that dark matter, that red mercury, that stuff Spock was using. That was weird. Gold attracts it and garlic repels it, like on some vampire type stuff, huh? And it doesn't have a reflection. How crazy is that? What are they auctioning that off? What would somebody need with some red mercury for? Why would they put the date and like the SKU number, you know? Like what are people using this for? Is it some type of Tony Stark type weapon or something? Y'all tell me.
I never hinder people, because your entire identity was built around hindering people, hindering them from experiencing consequences, hindering them from sitting with their own discomfort, hindering them from learning the lesson that only the full weight of their own choices could teach them. Your helping was a form of control. You were not rescuing them. You were interfering with the natural consequences that other people desperately needed to face. Every crisis you absorbed, every emotional fire you extinguished, every time you stepped between a person and the wall they were about to hit, you were stealing from them. You were stealing the exact impact that would have forced them to change. And the reason you did it was not compassion. Not entirely. The reason you did it was because watching someone you love suffer the consequences of their own actions activated a terror inside you. A terror that was older than language. A terror that said if you did not fix this, if you did not make it better, you would be the one who was abandoned. You would be the one who was not enough. The child in you was still performing, still earning their place at the table by being indispensable, and every rescue mission was another payment on a debt that was never actually yours. I never hinder people.
Payment of a debt that's not yours. Interesting.
But here's the tragic irony. That same survival mechanism that saved you as a child now makes you a beacon for adult predators who've learned to weaponize your gift against you. Dr. Judith Orloff's research confirms what Jung observed. Empaths' mirror neurons fire more intensely than average people. Your brain literally absorbs the emotions of others as if they were your own. But here's the tragic irony.
You know, that kind of reminds me of Lazarus. When Yahushua, aka Jesus, you know, before he did the resurrection on Lazarus, he looked around and he saw how sad everybody was. You know, they were devastated. Let's pull it up. This entire passage honestly is beautiful, but it was this part right here that really spoke to me. Let you guys go ahead and read that. All right, this guy's a little upset. Let's see what he's talking about.
If y'all needed any more reasoning as to why I'm leaving the country, take a look at this absolute abomination of city planning. Unfortunately, this is how most of America looks outside of big cities. This is not a country anymore, but a functional economic zone that you are meant to contribute to until your life ends. And maybe if you're lucky, every year or two, you can take a vacation to actually live for once somewhere else in the world. If y'all needed any more...
This has got to be in the South. Y'all got a Zaxby's, a Cane's, and a KFC right next to each other. How lucky are y'all? No, I'm just playing. But all seriousness, man, I get what he's saying. You know, because this pretty much looks like, you know, my neighborhood. You know, anywhere you stay at, it pretty much looks like this, the United States. You know, what happened to the land masses? Where's the water fountains at? Why do we got to go downtown to see anything? You know what I'm saying? Put land masses up for no reason to just be a visual awe. As I'm watching this, I'm starting to realize it's because we got rid of all our architecture. You know what I'm saying? Chicago was thumping. It had so much architecture. There's no telling what they had and what they bulldozed down, you know? It probably was beautiful back in the day, but, you know, it just became... Let's see what the comments are saying. They're saying genuinely nothing to do but spend money. Yeah, you can't walk around no park, you know, no world fairs like we was talking about. United States is just one big ad. Somebody said they left and this is their view. That's what I'm talking about. Look, you can see the bridge. You can see the dome architecture in the back. You can look in the vast. You can see the mountain range. Doesn't look like they too sprayed up. You know, if we look up here, doesn't look too sprayed up, you know, but then again, who knows? And this is the same city, by the way. Wow, that looks magical. Where is this at? Enchanting. I'm sure the U.S. got spots like this, but, you know, for the most part, it's pretty much going to look like this. You know what I'm saying? If this looks like your neighborhood, drop it in the comments below. How do you guys feel about this? Maybe Costa Rica might be the next move. Y'all tell me. I don't know, man. I don't got too many people I talk to anyway. So it's like if I did want to move somewhere far away, it'll be nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is that something somebody would want to do? Have you have experiences moving from one place to another, and did you love it? Or have you just been in the same spot, you know, wishing you moved? You know, one thing's for sure, I gotta get out more. All right, let's see if we got a Gilgamesh update. We covered this extensively in the past, but I get excited whenever I run across the post of somebody talking about it.
They have discovered the lost tomb of Gilgamesh. An archaeologist may have discovered the lost tomb of Gilgamesh, but the site was suddenly shut down. Thousands of years ago, ancient Mesopotamian texts described a king named Gilgamesh. According to the story, he was not fully human. 2/3 God, 1/3 man, a giant ruler said to stand over 17 feet tall, and the legends claim he was buried beneath the Euphrates River. Now here's where it gets strange. In 2003, a German archaeologist reportedly claimed he had located the lost tomb of Gilgamesh using advanced ground scanning technology near the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia. But before any major excavation could begin, everything changed. War breaks out in Iraq. Archaeological sites are shut down, excavations stop, and reports begin spreading that military activity increased around the area at night, trucks moving in and out, objects being removed from the ground. And whether those stories are true or not, it raises a question, because if the tomb of Gilgamesh was actually discovered, then what exactly was buried down there? And if ancient civilizations were more advanced than we've been told, the real question is what else is still hidden beneath the sands of Mesopotamia.
A whole area like the Grand Canyon and got whatever was over there. I've heard some crazy theories. They said that Gilgamesh is underground connected to some AI computers. You know, they trying to resurrect them, open some stargates with them. I heard some outlandish stuff. But one thing's for certain, if you seen the actual video
They have discovered the lost
of them discovering this thing, whatever it is, you know, it doesn't feel like a hoax. It feels more like, you know, an omnious feeling, like we shouldn't be doing this type of feeling, you know, that just gives it more of that scary factor, you know? Like, I remember covering the video, we thought he was about to open his eyes at any second. How could it be preserved like this? And I believe he was in some type of red liquid or red glass protecting them before they even opened it up. Y'all probably, if y'all watching me for the first time, you probably like, what? Yeah, right. Man, don't make me pull up the video.
Every camera you walk past that is integrated with AI systems increasingly can decode mental states.
There's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. People believing that they've been at Disney World with characters who are not Disney characters, taking photographs with those characters.
Those products are hitting the market this year. What they will be capable of doing is very high level brain state reading. Things like, are you tired? Are you paying attention? Is your mind wandering? Are you happy or sad?
One of the emerging areas that's really interesting in law neuroscience is pain detection. And once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain and use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well? We can pick up and decode faces that you're seeing in your mind. Simple shapes, numbers, your PIN number to your bank account.
Some people theorize this technology is already out, and it's called voice-to-skull technology.
You can't hear this. It's going to, I haven't turned it on yet. When I do, it's going to blast out a 65 kilohertz beam. Because the wavelength is so small, it doesn't spread. Because 65 kilohertz has a wavelength like that. So it's going to be, in that sense, similar to a laser. It just comes right out as a beam. Now, how do we make that audible? Well, they put a modulation on top of the 65 kilohertz. There's a modulation. And now, here's the next thing I have to tell you. That 65 kilohertz is very high amplitude. It won't hurt you, we don't think. Okay? You certainly can't hear it, and we don't think it'll hurt you. And it's very high amplitude. And what happens when you have two sound waves like this, sound plus sound can create sound, but only at high amplitudes. At low amplitudes, sound waves just travel right through each other. You may be sort of familiar with this. But at high amplitude, you can create sound. So what happens in this apparatus is the audio sound, the sound that you're going to hear, is actually created in the beam, not here. And because it's created in the beam and it stays in the beam, we have a beam of sound. So let me demonstrate this for you. Let me turn it on. And I'm going to find the piece of music that we like. Yeah. You may not like it. The Eagles. You like the Eagles? Okay, good. Oh, we have a friendly audience this year. Yeah. I think they're just saying it to make us feel better. Right. All right. It's worth the $2,000. It's not our money. Now, the sound that you're hearing is being created in this beam. It almost sounds like it's coming from your head. So let me try to scan the whole audience so everybody gets to hear this. Absolutely remarkable. Pete, are you getting it?
Now imagine a giant 5G tower just, you know, it's, hey, do you think they really stopped developing this technology? The answer, no.
Let's try to, one more thing. Let's try to bounce it off the wall. Raise your hand if you can very clearly hear it. I'm going to try to bounce it off the wall. Look at where the hands are raised. You can't hear this. It's.
You know, if you look at this carefully, it looks like he's using a CD player for this demonstration. So this had to be in like what? No later than 2002, 2003, more than 20 years past that. There's no telling what they're capable of now. Going straight to your skull, no speakers.
What's that? Oh, there's a technology that most people don't know about that's called the voice-to-skull technology, which has a patent where you actually hear voices come inside your head, which isn't your own voice, and it takes over. Tell me more! Yeah, this voice-to-skull technology has been around since the Cold War, at least that's what we know so far, and what it does is it uses a microwave frequency that is pointed in certain directions at certain people and will only affect the people that it's pointed at. Now, the reason it's called voice-to-skull technology is because when it is pointed at somebody, it does not enter through the ear, it goes directly to the skull. This was said to just be used for crowd control and that there are no harmful effects of it. Whistleblowers have come out talking about this technology and how it's been used in certain agencies. Oh, fun! Some people that have actually... The eerie part about this is the people that said they've had this used on them said that they do not recall what happened to them, nor recall what they did and what they were told to do. Oh, I love it! What's that? Oh, there's a technology that most people don't know about.
If you think about it, that's why Magneto wore his helmet on X-Men, you know? Magneto was the first one, if you really think about it, to really rock a tinfoil hat, honestly. He always like, Charles, get out of my head!
We are probably one of the last generations of Homo sapiens, because in the coming generations, we will learn how to engineer bodies and brains and minds. Now, how exactly will the future masters of the planet look like? This will be decided by the people who own the data. Now, why is data so important? It's important because we've reached the point when we can hack not just computers, we can hack human beings and other organisms. Now, what do you need in order to hack a human being? You need two things. You need a lot of computing power, and you need a lot of data, especially biometric data. But control of data might enable human elites to do something even more radical than...
He is literally about to tell you that they're building a digital dictatorship.
Just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it. All of life, for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution. And at the same time, science may enable life, after being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds, science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm. The end of human-dominated history. History will continue with somebody else in control. In 5 years, there'll be a technology that can make decisions independently and that can create new ideas independently. Maybe they'll be nice, but we are not sure. I'm tending to think of it more in terms of really an alien invasion. An alien fleet of spaceships coming from planet Zircon or whatever with highly intelligent beings. This is what we are facing, except that the aliens are not coming in spaceships from planet Zircon, they're coming from the laboratory. If the humans are divided among themselves and are in an arms race, then it becomes almost impossible to contain this alien intelligence. I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news.
Yuval Noah Harari, a spokesperson and advisor for the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, people say, I don't think I've ever seen somebody encompass the Antichrist and the goals of the Antichrist more than this person. This guy is pushing for practically new religions based off technology. He calls and openly says that we're going to be having entities living among us that are not human. And then he's pushing and absolutely supporting in multiple video interviews that we need to be surveyed and have surveillance that is technology implanted under our skin. I mean, it's shocking. And not only that, as you see in the opening clip, he is openly, absolutely, completely against the God of the Bible and against the belief in God.
And I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible. But
But there is a concern that...
Which is then very strange, because then he mixes on out of that into saying, well, we're going to have religions that are going to come out of Silicon Valley in the future, religions of technology. I mean, this guy is so strange. It's like the weirdest thing ever. So for this video, I'm just going to lay out the clips in a certain sequence and not really going to stop off and talk about them really too much at all, because we all really know the end times is coming. There will be the Antichrist, a figure who will rule in the end. There will be one world government, one world control of government, and one world currency. All of that is going to take place. So just knowing that truth that is all told to us through Revelation, mainly Revelation 13, as well as Matthew 24, we can know those truths and then look and listen at what guys like this are saying and just absolutely see how it's fulfilling that prophecy and moving towards that. I mean, unlike anything before. Again, with this guy, all these other people are like setting these systems up, like pushing these systems in different ways, but this about it at the end.
The next big projects of humankind will be to overcome old age and death, and to basically upgrade humans into gods. In the Bible, in the book of Genesis, basically the first thing God does is to create animals and plants and humans according to his wishes. We are now trying to gain this divine ability to ourselves, and in a way, we are even reaching beyond what ancient religions ascribed to the gods. Because the gods, like Jehovah in the Bible, they could create only organic beings. If you're a creationist and you look at the world, so all these animals, all these plants, God created them and they are all organic. Now humans are trying to do better than that. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution.
We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life.
Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. We don't have any answer in the Bible what to do when humans are no longer useful to the economy. You need completely new ideologies, completely new religions, and they are likely to emerge from Silicon Valley or from Bangalore and not from the Middle East. And they are likely to give people visions based on technology. Everything that the old religions promised, happiness and justice and even eternal life, but here on earth with the help of technology and not after death with the help of some... We are probably one of the last generations.
You know what I'm starting to realize? I'm speaking in code here, but that time we all had to be indoors and, wear that mask. I'm starting to think that was a soft reset. You know how we all talk about resets, all this reset might have happened. That might have been a soft reset. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Talk to me. We got to figure this out.
Just strengthen your muscle there and resist me. Okay. See how weak that is? That's right. You're right. Compared to this? See how much stronger that is? Yeah. Okay, you can get out. Pretty good. She has a south pole gallbladder. Pancreas? She has a south pole pancreas. Oh. Now you see, this gives me a disease pattern for this girl. She's falling into a hypoglycemic pattern. Already colon is normal. Thyroid. Now, thyroid is south pole, hyperthyroid person. So this girl burns a hot fire, she's got a lot of energy, but her hypoglycemia is pooping her out. Okay, make a fist. Now I double check myself. This way, make a fist and resist me. This is a pretty strong girl, she must work out pretty heavy. She's chiropractor. On my patient. What are you putting it on now? Stomach. See her stomach? When I put that on her, she has no resistance whatsoever. You feel it go. Now, just strengthen your muscle there and resist me. Okay.
See, that's what they should be using. Biomagnetic for good, not always hacking somebody, reading our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Use technology for good. Be aware of the Appalachian Mountains. Something has been caught on camera. Let's take a closer look.
What the man? What the is that?
I don't know.
Guys, we got a crazy one. And the worst part, it's not AI. This TikToker received a notification from their CCTV cameras that something was amiss in their yard. As soon as they turned the camera on so that they can see what's going on out there, they see somebody out there. Now, there is a moment in this video where it gets close enough to the camera to where you can see that this might be just a person going through some sort of episode, but it's so unsettling. I'm only going to show you a bit of the video, but if you want to see the full thing, head on over to her channel. It's unsettling, to say the least.
Where's the dog? Well, you better go now.
What the man? What is that?
I don't know.
Could this be an actual skinwalker? Gray? Those are the top two in my head. This is a gray caught on film or a skinwalker. Look how his leg disappears and he kicks the back of his leg. He's confused.
This has always been a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist type topic. But if you look at where we're at today with the nanotech, we now know that this is conspiracy fact. There's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Ido Bachelet. In 2013, he gave a TED-Med talk in Israel. He's holding up a 1cc syringe and he's saying, I just brought this from my lab. And then the tip of this needle are 1,000 billion robots, 2,000 times the width of a human hair. Not only does he brag about these robots being in the syringe, talks about how it's a benefit to humanity. And I would agree with him in one aspect. Technology in and itself is not good or bad. It's who is in control of the technology. He also expresses to the audience how these nanorobots basically are designed to be controlled by computer code, various languages. And he teaches his students how to control these things with an Xbox controller.
Are they electronic components? How are they being powered? How are they keeping power?
They keep power through the piezoelectric effect. Our body naturally produces a certain amount of amperage. There's a thing called graphene oxide. It's the main component that allows these things to self-assemble, self-replicate.
Maybe that's why we're so tired all the time. We're powering these nanobots inside of us. That's crazy. Wow.
And they actually cross the blood-brain barrier. They can actually be programmed to carry a payload so that if you send a certain RF emission to them, they'll open up and release whatever payload's in them.
We're like, oh, why are you so tired, man? Just powering these damn nanobots, man. They running at 50% today.
My question to you, and I don't expect you to answer it, just think about it in your head. How bad do things have to get before you do something? Do they have to take away all your property? Do they have to license every activity that you want to engage in? Do they have to be throwing you on cattle cars before you start to say, now wait a minute, I don't think this is a good idea? How long is it going to be before you finally resist?
Look at my man's posture, like a superhero. Y'all need to hear this.
And say, no, I will not comply. Period. That's a different answer for each person. Ask yourself now, because sooner or later you're going to come to that line, and when they cross it, where you can say, well, okay, cross this line. Okay, now cross that line. Okay, now cross this line. And pretty soon you're in a corner. Sooner or later you've got to draw a line and stand your ground. whether anybody else does or not.
Who is this? I feel like I need to hear more of what he has to say.
There is a verse in Scripture that most people have read their entire lives without stopping at what it actually says. 1 Samuel 16:14. The Spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord tormented him. Read that again. An evil spirit from the Lord, not from Satan, not permitted by God, from the Lord. That is what the text says. How does an evil spirit come from God? Is God the source of evil? Here is what most people have never been taught. In biblical theology, all spiritual authority flows through God's sovereign permission. Evil spirits do not operate independently. They operate within boundaries God sets. When God's Spirit was upon Saul, those boundaries held. There was a covering, a shelter, not because Saul deserved it, but because God's presence protects what it inhabits. When the Spirit departed, the shelter went with it. God did not send the evil spirit the way he sends his own Spirit. He withdrew the covering that was holding it back, and what had always been waiting outside was permitted to enter. The evil spirit came from the Lord, the way darkness comes from the removal of light. God did not produce it. He stopped restraining it. And the Spirit did not leave randomly. Saul had rejected the word of the Lord one time too many, and the covering honored that rejection by leaving. The most terrifying thing in Scripture is not what God sends. It is what he stops holding back.
When you react, they take your life. You drop two tablets of Alka-Seltzer in water and it bubbles. There's a reaction, the gas is given off. When you get upset, people walk away with your psychic energy. They literally devour you. And not only that, they put a little bit of their wicked nature into you. And then you turn around and take it out on somebody else. That's how it goes down the pecking order. You become like the person you hate.
So give our viewers,
and you start to hurt your own children.
Right now, an idea of how to fight that.
Hold it. You hurt your own children. A lot of the problems, for instance, the government taxes you to death, and it makes your life miserable, and you have no way to fight it, and you get very resentful. The nature of the wickedness in the higher powers, in school, in church, everywhere, when you can't fight what you see.
So what does a person do?
It gets inside you, and it
But
builds.
we get upset about lots of things, Roy.
Don't excuse it.
I'm not excusing it, but we do get upset.
You said being upset is normal?
Huh?
If I upset you,
I am saying that a human being has a variety of emotions.
One of those emotions
Some are very
you can't
good.
afford.
What?
You cannot afford.
You can afford it if you can deal with it properly.
You cannot.
Can you?
Once you have lost control, being upset carries with it judgment. Resentment carries with it judgment. The purpose of look, a bullfighter, a matador, gets strong because he doesn't give in to the bull. He gets stronger than the bull and he walks away gracious. But if he reacts to the bull will kill him. There are spiritual forces in this society, people invested in people, that are trying to make you just like them. They're trying to change you. The body snatchers are trying to get inside you and alter your identity to serve the whole system. The whole system is dying. This is an Orwellian nightmare that's happening to America. It cannot be explained by psychodynamics or electrochemical thinking. It is evil that we're dealing with, and the sooner people will recognize the truth of evil, there are two truths. The truth about error and the truth of good.
Give them the first step to helping themselves.
You must learn to meditate. and be objective to yourself so that the bad can't get in and the good can come through. It's like a force field you put around yourself. And the second thing is you must never doubt what you know is right in your heart. And the next thing is you never let people upset you. You have to stand there and never flinch, no matter what people do to you, and you will destroy evil.
Right?
When
I feel like they were laughing at him, but he was trying to tell them the truth. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
You are surrounded by clone hybrid people. Look, some people are programs, which you call clones or NPCs, and some are souls. Many are a mix of both. That's a crypto clone. Heterozygous people. Programs are Rh negative. Souls are Rh positive. Rh positive is dominant. Rh negative is recessive. Rh negative is not a different gene. A gene has been deleted. Heterozygous people show up as Rh positive when tested. Rh negatives are programs that are anchored to the matrix itself. Rh positives can move on to other levels. Rh negatives are designed to be like teachers. They stay, the students move on. All this crossbreeding between souls and programs has created a transplant rejection effect collectively. Negatives are more so physical beings having a spiritual experience. Positives are spiritual beings having a physical experience. Forced crossbreeding has domesticated many aboriginals. Rh negatives are infinite beings. Rh positives are eternal. Big difference. The recessive is associated with pheomelanin. The dominant is associated with eumelanin. Pheomelanin is sulfur-based. It is phototoxic, which means light destroys it. The first soul and program chimeras were created by somebody that wanted to create without the creator, a bypass. The crossbreeding has made billions of us vulnerable to possession. Open vehicles for agents, angels. The Agent Smith concept. Gene splicing with the CRISPR technology is currently possible.
Damn, this is deep. Is that how demons get in so quick?
Yet supposedly illegal. This technology is not new. It has been around for hundreds of years. You are surrounded by clone hybrid people. Look.
Damn, okay, I hear you tell lore. That was interesting. The first time I heard someone talk about the first chimeras, that was interesting.
So we've been hearing the US military really busted out the 9000 during their raid on Venezuela. Straight up alien technology revealed in a chilling audio by a witness. Powerful superweapons used to capture their president, Nicolas Maduro. All while blasting Chief Keef and catching the Prez wearing Nike tech fleece. I really wonder what foreign policy that is. Okay, the Chief Keef part might be a stretch, but that witness who told the world what he saw was a Venezuelan guard, and actually a very close contact with Maduro himself. And as you may have already heard everywhere at this point, the technology they used for this operation is straight up science fiction. So I dug deep into the trenches of the DoD and found out exactly what weapons they used. The leaked audio of Maduro's security revealed the disturbing first-hand account of America's raid on Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro. Since the US determined the Venezuelan people needed some good old liberation from their falsely elected communist leader, who also happens to have the largest oil reserve in the world. But no, shut up, don't look at that. That's obviously completely irrelevant. So America sends in Delta Force, the US Army's world-class elite tier special task unit, to extract their El Presidente and lock him up, which they did in record time, with reports claiming the entire ground extraction within Maduro's compound only taking a little over 6 minutes. And Maduro himself allegedly didn't even know they were there to get him until just 3 minutes before they took him away. This was some peak era Black Ops shit. The witness's audio tells us exactly how they did it, and mind you, this is from a high-profile security guard very loyal to Maduro.
If they want you, they'll come get you. Unless you're Jason Bourne.
Last thing he'd ever want to do is make up some fairy tale glamorizing the US military. So the night it happened, the Venezuelan army didn't hear a peep when all of a sudden all their radar systems mysteriously went down, and hundreds of drones came out of nowhere, after which 8 helicopters appeared, and from them only 20 soldiers came down who were, quote, technologically very advanced and didn't look like anything we've ever fought against before. The American troops were outnumbered 5-1, yet the firefight was an absolute massacre. The Venezuelan military didn't stand a chance as these 20 Delta Force soldiers came up on them like they had aimbot installed, firing.
Lord, this is on some Call of Duty, what's that game called? Battlefield type stuff. You know, where do you think the games get it from? I'm sure weapon designers are looking at them games like, oh, that's a good idea. You did what? Oh, okay, let's try that out.
'Cause the Venezuelan military didn't stand a chance as these 20 Delta Force soldiers came up on them like they had aimbot installed, firing.
Let's this is on some Call of Duty, what's that game called? Battlefield type stuff. You know, where do you think the games get it from? I'm sure weapon designers are looking at them games like, oh, that's a good idea. You did what? Oh, okay, let's try that out.
with such insane precision and speed, like they were shooting at least 300 rounds a minute. Then at one point, they launched what the witness calls a very intense sound wave, feeling like his head was exploding from the inside. All of their...
Didn't we talk about this the other day? What was it called? Voice-to-skull technology, anyone?
Venezuelan noses started... They were vomiting and falling to the ground and were too dizzy to even get back up, incurring hundreds of while the 20 American soldiers remained completely untouched, using weapons that didn't seem human, which seems to have sent a message across South and Central American governments and cartels to not with Team America. Whatever they used are being called secret mystery wonder weapons, but we kind of already know exactly what they are, as Department of Defense tech leaders have publicly showcased the mind-blowing capabilities the military has. And mind you, this is what they were comfortable publicly revealing, meaning what they actually have is light years ahead of this, like this helmet made by Palmer Luckey, the guy who invented the Oculus Rift VR headset at 19 years old. Sold it to Facebook for $2 billion, and now he's a contractor for the DoD under his own military tech defense company, Anduril. This special military helmet is called Eagle Eye, and it's basically God mode cheat codes for the army, giving the user a full-blown, state-of-the-art heads-up display like they're playing Call of Duty but in real life, showing them a live map, exactly where their friends are, their enemies, where their gun is pointed, built-in night and thermal vision, synced with overhead drones and every other helmet in the field, acting as a sort of singular hive mind, a unified consciousness, so that any information you see is shared with everyone else in real time.
That is actually impressive. Wow.
Isn't anything new. Years back, they showed us legit wall hacking technology called ENVGB, Enhanced Night Vision Goggle Binoculars, which uses special phosphorus technology to outline people and even equipment behind walls and through objects, like they're being highlighted for a special event in a video game. It's pretty clear how something like this would give soldiers a massive advantage in the field, but let me tell you, this isn't even the start. We got wall hacking, aimbot, full heads-up display, real-time tracking of friendlies, enemies, and objects, but what about that sonic weapon?
I can't wait to see that, but I feel like we already touched on it low-key, that skull-to-voice technology. That was back in 2002, 2003. There's no telling what they doing now. DARPA, man, drop your thoughts in the comments below. What is going on?
Those of you out there that keep lying like you're 2 years old, you won't admit the body's electrical, you don't admit the aura is a body part, so you make it pure hell to explain to people what their new graphene healthcare actually is. We try to explain to them there are biosensors, you lie, you tell them there is no biofield, so then they're totally confused. And then they're like, well, how did you get the biosensors in us? You're in vivo, in situ, 24/7 with those biosensors since 2005.
I'm starting to think that they're connecting those helmets to these biofields. Like, what if they had a helmet that tapped into the cloud and then they could just see all the local biofields that's on the network, man? They wouldn't even... That's what AI would need to see. Now I'm thinking about it. You know, they can't see visually like how we can because, you know, we have a retina and actual eyes. What if AI needs to see? So it gets connected to the cloud like on some Skynet type stuff. And that's how AI is able to see now. It's not just listening to programs. It is connected to all the biofields that's connected to the cloud. Damn.
Amazon Shipping Services in 2021 got permission from the ultra-wideband frequency networks for your shipping and your W-band and to put those databases together for faster transit. Your body is used as a relay in cybersecurity between a drone and a striker with no humans involved, 2022. So if I were you and I was somebody that genuinely still sitting there really confused, the easiest way that any of us are going to be able to help you understand is if you start by admitting your body is electrical. Then you need to admit that you're a living antenna because human bodies are made of water, we're conductive, like it's just anatomy. And once you can do that, then you can understand all these jumps in technology and what the biocyber interface is about. It's not about just graphene. We have multiple metamaterials, and it's not about killing everybody all at once. That would be too obvious. It's about a new surveillance system that isn't new. It's been around for a long time, and other people in your intelligence community have tried to talk about it throughout the decades, and we just never hear from them again. They disappear. Wow. Those of you out there that keep...
You know who she reminds me of? Like a real life Sarah Connor. You guys know what time it is. If you thought you weren't going to have another excellent specimen of the day today, think again. Alright, feast your eyes on this amazing purple tanzanite fluorite. Very interesting piece. The rating I'm going to give this, I would have to give this a 8.7, and I will name it the Purple Heart. Very interesting lavender protruding through it. And I believe a couple octahedrals on that bad boy.
Problem of emotionally responding to pressures and doubting yourself, where you end up is lost in your imagination. And the only way that it's like a person being lost in their computer, or the maestro being lost in the band. He falls into the bandstand and he can't conduct.
He's into the pit, then that's
right.
it.
So when we fall into our imagination, when we become sucked into our thoughts, we start to worry our way out of problems. It gets worse. And the more worse it gets, the more we worry. The more worry we are, we're not applying enlightened reason. We're only applying the figments of our imagination of answers we think are answers. So the secret is to learn to meditate with
now we're getting to meditation. Tell me the technique for meditation.
Yes, but the secret is, it's called practicing the presence.
Right.
If you are living in the past and then live in the future, you fail to see in the moment the clarity of in the moment. So the secret is to learn not to live in your imagination, which wrong people in the world teach us to exercise.
So you should be thinking nothing then?
No, you don't think. You watch the thought that gets between you and your desire to stay in the moment, and you find yourself being carried away all the time. You can hardly stay in the moment.
And what do you do when those thoughts come in?
You become conscious they exist, and as you become conscious they exist, you'll notice your hand again, as though you were looking for the middle of your forehead, and your hand will start to glow warm. And the idea is to get your hand to glow warm, because what happens is that as you learn to stay in the moment more and more and more, there comes this reality that was never there when you were living in your imagination. And this reality starts to bear on your thoughts and become stronger than your thoughts. And it becomes your thoughts, and you become a clear thinker.
Is this self-hypnotism in a way?
No, it's dehypnotizing. See, because we come into the world in this mental, emotional state where we're sapped in to thinking. Hardly any person can sit down without he's into his thoughts. We're rolling along down the gutter of his thoughts. And the more you live in your thoughts, the worse things come. The worse your thoughts become. You even feel guilty for the kind of thoughts you feel, because you can't stop entertaining them. We're a victim. We're like a convict with a ball and chain.
So this is working.
And it's not helping. If you watch my last video that we getting hit with this skull to voice technology, so they imprinting the thoughts in our head, that's not helping at all. These nanobots that we're powering off our own piezoelectricity inside our body isn't helping either. Piezoelectricity, however they using our electricity, same way in the Matrix, where they were trying to use humans for batteries.
Toward rationality in the here and now. Total rationality.
Yes, you see, if I was a car mechanic and I open the bonnet of my car hood.
I don't like bonnet.
Okay. And I look inside to see what's wrong. I know what's wrong because by virtue of my knowledge. A spark plug's out of order. I know it because it fits a pattern or doesn't fit. But if I don't have knowledge, I can't fix it because I don't know what's.
Well, what about aesthetics?
Well, I'm making a point. When you have this understanding that's common to all men, okay, and they're standing there in this inner light of understanding things without words, then you can see what's wrong with your life. You can see what's wrong with people. You can see what people are up to. You never get to see. You never get suckered into anything. You're in control of them because they can't control you. Problem.
Basically having discernment.
We are being warned. There won't be a time after digital ID is open for everyone that I will be able to tell you this. But we were warned, just the same as the disciples were warned, that you will not be able to buy or sell without the stamp, the mark of the beast on your forehead or your hand. We were warned and we didn't listen. The movies were warning us and we still are not listening, some of us. There may be nothing you can do after the fact or even before the fact, but we need to be praying about it. We definitely need to be getting our house in order while we still have one. So before I started this video, I asked God to lead me in the direction I needed to go because I need to get this out here to you guys. And it's still a lot of people that, don't believe it. And that's fine. You are entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. But trust and believe. This is already happening. This is not something down the road. This is not something, it's going to start happening in 2030. We got time. It's not none of that. It has been happening. I want to show you a series of clips to let you know. They were telling us in the movies what they were already doing, what they're going to do. So we're either going to get on board or we're not. And if you don't, be prepared for the consequences. And if you get on board, be prepared for the consequences. 17 years ago, this movie was made. 17 years ago. In 2008, this movie was made. And if you think the advancements are not there, that they don't have the capability, then you are lost in the sauce.
We had an FBI consultant on the picture telling me that they can use your ADT security box microphone to get your stuff that's going on in your house, or OnStar, they can shut your car down. And he told me that 1 in 5 phone calls that you make are recorded and logged. And I laughed at him, and then he played back a phone conversation I'd had 2 years prior. Come on, joining.
This next clip is going to be us. The minute they are at 100% capacity and they've done building their digital god, this will be us. But this was in 2008. So for us, it's going to be even worse. Because while they're just tracking movement and they know your everything that you're doing, they're literally talking about us with something. And they're going to start with the basics.
This is you. This is Jerry Shaw. A series of purchases, preferences, and quantifiable data points that we define as your personality. We monitor every social network, internet logs, instant and text messages, known associates, your friends, companions, emails received and sent, cell phone usage. We utilize security, surveillance, and traffic cameras to analyze movements. We use this data to form personality profiles. We know who you are.
He's 30 minutes late. Sam doesn't care.
We are everywhere.
What do you mean? Why do you keep saying we?
We, the people of the United States. In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, all programmed options, sector searches, and downloaded points of data will lead to this central command.
Don't keep scrolling. Matter of fact, go ahead and share this out because a lot of people need to take this test, and that is to ask
Hit that like and subscribe button and go ahead and share this if you haven't already.
Themselves the question, what side are you on at the end of the day? Because your faith is going to be tested. Digital ID is going to change life as we know it. Humanity will not be the same. And for those who don't believe in it, you don't have to believe in it. You're about to see it. But I think even when you see it, you're still going to deny it, just the same as Peter, James, and John did with Jesus. You will deny what is right there before your eyes.
believe Peter did it 3 times. How many times did Peter deny Jesus? 3 times.
You will deny it because you don't want to see it. You don't believe that this is going to happen. And yes, while people have been talking about this forever, is what I saw in my comments. No, people have been talking about this for hundreds of years, but in your lifetime, you're about to see exactly what it is written in the Bible to happen. You will get that mark on your forehead, and you will get it on or your right hand. You will receive that. And why do they come out?
Because I'm starting to think, like, what if it's just not a stamp? Like, what if it's like a Neuralink or, nanobots inside our head, so they're able to, I don't know.
After the children, well, because everybody knows that God loves the children. Protect the children. So they're going to come after what he
doing, right? Bill Gates is in Africa right now. He got this experiment where they're going to implant newborn babies in Kenya with this tracking device. And the Kenyan government is letting him do it.
Before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body.
Where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper, plastic or otherwise, as an ID that they should be able to be.
There's no way. This can't be real.
Identified digitally using their iris or their fingerprints, and we can transact without the necessity of people struggling to identify who they are.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and in little we just shoot them right into the bank.
Plan will be to do what China is doing to their citizens right now. It will be done to us eventually. But we have a lot more that we have to get into control before they can get there. The plan is to eventually create these 15-minute cities. Let me show you what a 15-minute city actually means. What you'll get to do in this 15-minute city.
Taking place in China, it's called 15-minute cities, where in order for me to enter my apartment complex, I have to do a biometric scan. In order for me to leave my apartment, I have to do a biometric scan. That information gets sent to the government agency or police station, and it gets you logged in. So much so to the point where if you have a poor social credit score and you do a biometric scan and you want to get into your apartment, it says access denied. They don't even let you into your own home. It's getting really crazy. And you couldn't leave your apartment.
For one, the enemy knows the Bible better than you, better than me. They know the Bible. And they are changing everything. And if you don't believe it, fine, don't believe it. Don't prepare your mind. Don't prepare spiritually. Don't pray. Don't worship. Don't stock up your homes. Don't do any of those things. You sit and you wait. But while I'm being patient, because God said to be patient, I'm not just waiting for something to take control when God has control. I will not worship a digital God. But we all, in some form, have already started. We've already been branded. Small things.
I know it sounds crazy, but, I remember watching a story with Elon Musk, and he said we're basically all like androids anyway. We got to have our phone just to do anything. Like, yeah, make calls, text, all that stuff is you got to have your phone. It's like you're missing if you don't. It's like a part of you's missing if you don't have your phone. Well, that's what he says, and that's actually how I feel sometimes, so she ain't lying. For entertainment purposes only, do your own research on everything.
It is easy. It is convenient. It will help you in your daily life. You'll have everything right there at your fingertips. You'll have that access. You won't need 11 items to fly on this plane. You won't need this, you won't need that. But guess what? You won't need money. So how about food? How am I feed my family? Who gets ostracized from all of this? Because if you don't fit into the standard, you will be blacklisted. If you don't do what they say, you will be blacklisted. You may not be able to feed your family. You may not be able to feed yourself. So you ain't got to believe it. Just keep waiting. Keep waiting and not preparing. And see where that gets you.
This is sick. The surveillance state is coming for your children. Only reform will stop them. Apparently, the government is considering extending digital ID to children as young as 13.
A digital ID for every newborn. They want to streamline services, which is a bureaucratic code for we want to know everything about you from day one.
We already know how obsessed this government is with pushing through a digital ID for us adults so they can track and control our every move. What most people don't know is that they're already at it. But it's not us they've already got in their sights, in a bill, in Parliament right now. It's our children. Hidden under the very wholesome sounding Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill is a plan, a sinister plan to tag every single child at birth. They're going to give every single child in the UK what they're calling a single unique identifier. It's a number that will follow them through life to 18, but then it doesn't go away. I'll come back to that. And it's a lifetime ID linking health, education, schools, anything else that anyone feels is relevant to that child's.
Imagine that. Your newborn gets a dummy, a nappy, and a government lifelong tracking number before you've even left the hospital. They say it's about safety, but safety from what? A newborn identity fraud ring? Or maybe they just can't resist knowing absolutely everything they want to know about you from cradle to care home. This unique government identification number will link health services, education, social services, even legal status, making it a single source of truth throughout a child's life. Your newborn baby's identity will be stored in digital wallets, government apps and databases. Don't worry, they say your child's data will be safe. The same promise they say after every government data breach. And the best part, you won't be able to say no. If you want access to healthcare, education or benefits, then you'll need a digital leash. Let's call it what it is, the birth of Big Brother Jr.
Digital ID must be accepted by U.S. citizens by 2028 or risk exclusion from society. Stand up and...
That if you don't have the digital ID by 2028, you will be excluded from society. Anyone else find this a little bit concerning? They want us locked up, jabbed up, tracked and traced and living off low carbon crickets in a 15-minute smart city. It's all part of the mainstream agenda, and it's why you need to create independence.
What is this, Snowpiercer? He said protein insects. You know, shout out to Yehukanan. That's all he ate was locusts and honey.
From the mainstream system. It's why you need land. It's why you need water, energy and food security. And it's why you need a sovereign, like-minded community to ride out the storm with. Let's be real. We've got zero control over the mainstream agenda, but we've got 100% control over how we prepare for it.
And then we're going to have to make a decision. Do we obey God? Or do we obey presidents? And do we obey God even if it costs you? I'm talking to American, you know nothing about that. Do we obey God, watch this, even if it costs you your life? That's what they're going to deal with in the Great Tribulation, right? When the Antichrist comes to power, read your Bible. But they will have to make a decision. Following Christ will cost the majority of them, watch, their life. Do we take the mark of the beast? Do we not take the mark of the beast? If we don't take the mark, can't buy, can't sell, no house, no 401k, no job, no gas, no food, but I have Christ. Will Christ be enough for you? Nah, some of you can't handle that heat. You can choose between Christ and all discomfort.
What? No Wi-Fi and Roblox? Say it ain't so.
Christ and eating out of a trash can, or the Antichrist and have food in my fridge. How about that for a decision? Right? The conflict between God and government. This is the tension at the center of our text. You recall that when this text began, I told you that Jesus is rides into Jerusalem in what will be the final week of his life. He rides into Jerusalem on a Sunday. He will be crucified on that Friday. He curses a fig tree as a sign of his denunciation of the nation of Israel. He goes to the temple and he cleanses the temple of, watch, financial corruption in the temple. He's trying to do that right now, trying to cleanse the American church of financial corruption. Don't tell me the Spirit of God said 28,000 of y'all got to bring me a seed for $4,000 right now. No, you lie on the Holy Spirit.
Sin feels like freedom until you try to stop. And here's why. Because sin will let you dance in it, laugh in it, and even preach in it, as long as you never ever try to leave it. And the moment you try to break up with it, it shows you it wasn't freedom at all. It was control. It was addiction, and it was a spiritual slavery, because Satan doesn't care that you're in it. He just panics when you try to come out of it. And that's why temptation feels light. But deliverance, now that feels like war, because freedom isn't proven when you start sinning. It's proven when you try to stop. And if you've been trying to stop and it's been fighting you, that means you're on the right track. Keep going, because Jesus breaks chains for real. And there's a prayer for that.
I just feel like people have been talking about this mark of the beast for so long. I think it already happened, you know? I don't know how they dispersing it, but I just have that feeling like it already happened or it's going on right now.
Parthenon, Athens, Greece. I'm only kidding. This is Nashville, Tennessee. The Parthenon, Athens, Greece. I'm only kidding. This is Nashville, Tennessee. Where are my naysayers? Sound off. Tell me why this makes sense to you. Tell me why half human, half horse people fighting, who are always so cool to me. I always wanted to be a half human, half horse.
I believe those are centaurs, as seen on Mortal Kombat.
I already got the big butt. Might as well give me the endurance of a horse. What is going on here? Why is that guy cold? Oh, Rome, Greece, Atlantis, everything in between, little people, huge swords. This guy, I'm just going to lay over here. That's what I would do, buddy. Watch out for the flying BS and
I believe that is a griffin, if I'm not mistaken.
Lions.
Man, you guys know what time it is. If you thought you weren't going to get another excellent specimen of the day, today, think again. Elysian. This, right off the bat, I'm going to start with the rating because I really enjoy this piece. I'm going to have to give this a 9.3 on the Richter scale. This is a 9.3. This specimen is stunning. Do we get to see the back, or is that all we got? I'll take it. 9.3. You can see the terrain like pattern in between the glacier firework like crystals. You know, you have the white snowflake fireworks, and then in between it you have the terrain, map terrain from 3,000 feet up, and then you got this dark blue glacier crystal popping at lower below. Truly interesting. If I had to name this specimen, I would call it Beyond the Wall. If I had to name this specimen, I would call it Beyond the Wall. What would you name it? And drop a rating down below. That's all we got for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't be afraid to go ahead and share this video to friends and family on all social networks. And I just want to say thank you for hanging with me. The code word today, code word is Gilgamesh.